I look at my experience at GSTN as one of my best because I have always been interested in system design, and when I went there, having work on those systems, that was my inner calling in a sense. See, I believe that when GST was implemented, it was one of the most impactful and the biggest tax reform in the history of India.
Right.
Post-independence India, I don't think any tax reform comes even close to the impact that GST has created. And globally also, I mean, if you take examples of other countries which have implemented GST or VAT or similar sort of a structure, there is hardly any parallel that comes close to the GST experience in India. Now, GSTN can be understood as the IT backbone of the entire GST system. GST is a law, but when you are going to digitize it, when you are going to operationalize it on a digital platform, that platform has to be massive, and being the sort of country that we have, that platform is also going to be very complex. But the real challenge did not come from designing this complex system. That could be done, and that was done. The real challenge came from a different direction. You see, that at that time the government was also very responsive because GST was a new law, and of course new teething issues would come. People will share their feedback. Oh, this is not working. This is not done. There will be protests somewhere. There would be constructive feedback coming from businesses, from officers. So what happened that even though GST law was written, the downstream rules and regulations, they were still evolving. And the government was changing rules and regulations almost on a daily basis. You receive a feedback, you change the rules and regulations. It sounds very simple and straightforward. But then the moment you change a rule, it has to reflect in the system also.
Right.
And system doesn't work that way. It's not like a switch that I can simply switch on and switch off. Okay, I have to redesign the entire thing. I have to also see that one change does not affect some other functionalities in my system.
Exactly.
Okay, so that, I suppose, was the most complex challenge that we faced, at least in the initial 2 to 3 years when the GST law, the rules and the regulations were still evolving. Almost on a weekly basis, we are getting change requests from the government. Okay, understandably so, because the government was responsive and the responses and the solutions were also evolving. I mean, to summarize this in one sentence, I would borrow the quote of my CEO at that time at GSTN, Sri Prakash Kumar. He used to say that designing the GST system is like building a ship while it is still sailing. Okay, so that was the sort of complexity that we are dealing with, and that was challenging, but at the end of the day, extremely fulfilling.